Boys, UFC Qatar just finished up, and honestly, one of the better fight night cards that we've got in this entire year. This is a great fight night card from start to end, and yeah, you know, we were on a streak to have a 100% finish rate until Ian Garry and Belal Muhammad went in there, but it is what it is. As you can see on screen, we have every single winner and two of the big losers in that co-main and main event, but we're going to run through who their next opponent's going to be, as well as we got those prelims, because on this Rare MMA channel, we go through every single winner. With that being said, let's get into this main card first. Main card, this is a good card, you know, especially the main card. Prelims are fun as well, but I have completely changed my mind on what I want this division to look like, what I want welterweight to look like, and I've completely changed my mind on the matchmaking. So I think on Monday, I'm going to make a video and probably post a video of ranking every single welterweight top 15, who's gonna fight who's next for who. With that being said, let's get into Arman first, because Arman had a pretty impressive win over Dan Hooker. Huge favorite to win this fight. Doesn't matter, he made it look like he was supposed to be a, what was it, a minus 600 or whatever it was. And honestly, there is nothing else left for Arman except for the champion Ilia Topuria. With that being said, I don't think I want to see Ilia versus Makhachev next, and that's mainly because these two fucks have went up in weight, and there should be zero excuse for both of them. They've taken zero damage in getting their belts, especially for Ilia. This dude should be able to bounce back here and fight on the first pay-per-view of the year against Arman. Arman already said if that's the case, he will say yes to that fight. He's not going to lose his opportunity again, and Ilia doesn't have to go around, you know, having this huge weight cut. He went up a division because the weight cut at 145 was too hard. The weight cut at 155 should be a lot easier than at 145. This should be a cakewalk. I don't understand why Ilia is being so stubborn right now. Plus, just think about it like this. Think about Ilia defending the lightweight belt by a vicious knockout against the #1 contender, and then moving up to fight Makhachev at the White House card. The White House card is still far away. Both Ilia and Makhachev can get a title defense before that. With that being said, what's next for Dan Hooker? Dan Hooker is probably not going to move at all in the rankings, and he's probably going to have to fight someone lower than him in the rankings. Because if we look at the rankings right now, Hooker's ranked number 6. I don't think he's going to fight a Paddy, a Gaethje, a Holloway, Oliveira. He just fought Arman. He's not getting that rematch, and I think he's going to have to fight below him in the rankings. I don't think this is the next fight that he should take right away. I think he should do the winner of something like Benoit Saint Denis and a Rafael Fiziev. I think that would be a fun fight, and then we can look at the winner of that fighting Dan Hooker. But if he wants to get in here right away, right after this fight, I mean, he didn't take crazy damage. He had that little bit of a headbutt, and, you know, the picture that we're looking on screen right now doesn't look like what he looks like right now. He looks kind of like the Flyman, but if he wants to get back in here right away, just do the BSD fight. If not, do the winner of BSD versus Fiziev. And regardless, I think that's a banger of a fight. I think that's you can have that as a headliner of an Apex card, of something like that. That's automatic hood classic right there. It's going to be a fight of the night, and I just want that fight. Let's go down to Ian Garry now. What's next for Ian Garry? Now, again, my opinion on the welterweight division has completely changed, because I think Ian versus Makhachev is the next one. Even though Ian Garry had the worst performance out of Protez, out of Morales, out of Shavkat, and Shavkat hasn't fought recently, the one thing those idiots didn't do was cut a promo, was cut a nasty liner, have some nice promo, call out the champion. They didn't do that. Ian Garry did. And honestly, I think that's what's next, and that goes into the whole thing that I said with Ilia. I don't want to see Ilia versus Makhachev right now. I want to see them defend the belt one more time. Just imagine how much bigger this fight would be if both of these guys go out and finish the top contender in their weight class. Ilia goes out here and flatlines Arman, and then Makhachev goes out here and dominates Ian Garry. Maybe finishes him on the ground. Who knows? But you can't tell me that fight wouldn't be infinitely bigger, especially if we put that at the White House. Because the White House isn't like next week. It's going to be a while till we get that White House card. So I want to see these matchups before the White House card, because again, both these dudes moved up in weight. We shouldn't be here being like, oh, they're so big for the division. They can only make weight like once per year. No, that's some bullshit. They went up in weight. Even Makhachev said he's going to fight way more often because the weight cut was nothing. I need to see these dudes defend the belt. With that being said, what's next with Belal Muhammad? If you guys don't know, the rankings have completely changed for the welterweight division. Someone like a Kamaru Usman, who is trying to suck Dana's dick to get a title shot, dropped down 3 placements. He's ranked number 8 now. Belal was ranked number 2. Ian was ranked number 6. He's probably going to drop down to the 6th spot because he's going to be higher than someone like a Sean Brady. I think we do Belal versus Kamaru Usman next. It's bad blood. It makes sense. It's a good fight for Kamaru if he wants to get a title shot. He can be in like the talk for a title. I don't even know because welterweight is so fucked right now. But I need to see this fight. This is the fight that makes sense, and it doesn't make sense to give Makhachev Usman right now because Makhachev already has so many asterisks on his career. We don't need to give him more with someone like a Kamaru Usman. That's just some bullshit. I think this is what's next. It makes so much sense. Plus, you're telling me Kamaru Usman wouldn't take this fight over someone like a Carlos Prates, where we just saw him flatline Leon Edwards. I don't think he wants anything to do with Prates. I think he wants this fight more than any other fight. If he has to fight one more time before that belt, run this one. Then, Volkan Oezdemir had a nasty KO over Alonzo Menifield. Are we that surprised? Are we surprised in the least bit? Absolutely not. That being, he had him knocked out on the feet. This dude was fully knocked out on the feet, and he just flatlined him after that. But what's next for Volkan Oezdemir? I think even light heavyweight's hard to match up right now, but I think Volkan Oezdemir is gonna have to. He deserves a jump up in the rankings, but I don't want to give him someone like a Dominic Reyes where he can just give him more CTE. So unfortunately, some dude who I don't think should be ranked higher than him right now. He's ranked number 7. Volkan Oezdemir ranked number 9. I don't think this dude should be ranked higher than Volkan Oezdemir. I think we do Volkan Oezdemir, Azmat Mirzakhanov. Winner of this can get a Carlos Ulberg coming off a loss, a Khalil Roundtree, a Jan Blachowicz, a Magomed Ankalaev, a former champion coming off a loss, something like that. They can get a top 5 light heavyweight and then fucking give them a title shot after that. If they beat a top 5, a former champion or a former title contender, run that one. That one makes all the sense in the world to me. Then the boy Uga Buga got it back, and this is a prime example. I want everyone to listen very closely because this is a prime example on why it is important to take time off after you come off a nasty KO, and you do not, whatever you do, you don't come back here. Come in here 5 months after, go down a weight class and get into another fist fight. Because that's what happened with Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson, Uga Buga made this dude go cross-eyed from a glancing shot. Yeah, it hit him right in the temple, but it was a glancing shot that nicked, and then he was flatlined after that. Follow-up shot wasn't necessary, made him go cross-eyed after that, but that's a prime example on why you don't do that. With that being, and it was so bad too, because you could hear in the background that Jack's corner, the referees were trying to tell Jack that the fight was over for 3 minutes straight. This dude was out of it completely. This is why you don't do that shit. My guy just speed ran CTE, and he probably took another 10 years off his life because he's retarded that way. But the paycheck can't be that bad, and you can't be down that bad that you need that paycheck. With that being said, Uga Buga, what's next for him? I want him to pick a weight class, and I'm going to do it for him because he can't make his mind up. We're sticking at welterweight. He looks good for welterweight. He's big for welterweight. I think the weight cuts at lightweight is going to be way too hard for him. What's next for my typical Orolbai? And plus, he can be more active this way. Let's give him a higher up ranked guy. Some dude, if he gets this, he can get into the top 15 after this. Even Chris Curtis. This would be a war. You can't tell me this wouldn't be a war. And there's a sneaky way that Chris Curtis could get this done. Or Uga Buga by whatever he wants. But yeah, I think this is what's next. This would be a fun matchup. And again, we're giving Uga Buga this fight. And then if he wins this, he can get a top 15 level fighter. He's on a decent win streak right now. He hasn't been in the UFC that long, but he has quality opponents to his resume. Let's keep moving down. The boy Waldo Cortes-Acosta got it done. Crazy win for Cortes-Acosta. I didn't make a last minute prediction video, because this was such a short notice, but I would have picked the boy Salsa Boy anyways. I wasn't the biggest fan of this guy, but he's starting to grow on me. He wants to fight again in a few weeks. I say fuck it, let him fight. I know a guy. He can fight. Title eliminator. 100% this time. Waldo Cortes-Acosta, Aleksandre Volkanov. Winner is guaranteed a title shot. Fuck it. If we're really that desperate. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say put an interim belt on. But yeah, this is for a number one contender fight. This is the number one contender after this. And then finally we can have some depth to this heavyweight division. We can have a actual heavyweight contender that is deserving of a title shot after this fight. If Volkov can't make that date, we don't need to see Costa fight 6 times a year. That's crazy. We can push it back to next year. But this should be a number one contender fight. This should be who's next for Tom Aspinall or Cyril Gane. That being said, Horiguchi got it done. I'm happy. Like midway through this fight, I was like, damn, I really hope he gets it done. Just because the UFC would be so much, especially flyweight. The flyweight division would be so much better if he won this fight. He won the fight. And honestly, he was just better than Ulanbekov. He just dominated the fight from start to end. Ended up finishing him, choking him out. What's next for him? He just beat a top 10 level guy. I don't think we waste this dude giving him another, like, let's give him number 8 now and then number 7, 6. I don't think we do it slowly. Plus, like, flyweight is pretty booked up right now. We go into flyweight. Joshua Van's fighting Pantoja. Brandon Moreno is fighting Topuria Taira. Brandon Royval is fighting Manel Kape. Alex Perez just fought. Almabayev just fought. I want to see Tim Elliott versus Charles Johnson. So I say fuck it. Let's give Horiguchi Qatar France next. Put this on the Volk card in a few months. I wouldn't be mad about that one. And if he gets it done over Qatar France, fucking give it a title shot. We need depth to this flyweight division. Great addition to flyweight. I'm happy about this. Let's run through these prelims. We'll go through them fast. I know a lot of guys don't care that much for them, but Luke Riley got it done. Luke Riley, not a lot of people were picking him. I did think he would get it done. I thought that, he has been training the takedowns because everybody knows that he's a good striker, so they're going to try to take him down. He's obviously going to be training the takedowns, and he's going to be able to get back up or not get back, or the fight always starts on the feet. One of the two, and I think he's just a faster, the more accurate striker. Exactly what handed. And I called round 2 KO, but he landed a nasty counter, spun Grad's head back, and just landed some nasty follow-up ground and pound. What's next for Luke Riley? Hear me out. 2026, I don't want many unks in the UFC anymore. Luke Riley catching a body over Calvin Kattar. Now there's a possibility Calvin Kattar gets it done here, but I think this is a faster, more accurate, more powerful version of a Calvin Kattar. Run this one next. I'm sorry, Calvin Kattar. It's not like I hate you or anything, but it's time for you to go. Retirement fight. Put this in wherever his hometown is, Boston or whatever. Put this somewhere where Calvin Kattar will be happy retiring. I want to see this one next. Moving down, Nicolas Dalby got it done, and this was a little bit of a surprising one, I'm not going to lie. However, he just had a very good game plan, and he just tired him out over 3 rounds, and I found it hilarious that the Saeed thought he won. Absolutely retarded, brain dead behavior. But Nicolas Dalby, what's next for him? I don't think he gets a jump up in the rankings, unfortunately. He was on a losing streak. I think he was on back-to-back knockouts. I think he's on a 2-fight win streak now. Doesn't mean he's going to get a jump up in the rankings. If he beats this guy, we can think about it. But I want to see him versus Ramirez Brahimaj. I think this would be a really fun matchup. And yeah, I don't have anything else to add to that. But Asu Almabayev also got it done. I also a flyweight fight. I didn't mention who he's gonna fight during the Horiguchi fights because I think Asu Almabayev should take on Amir Albazi next. It makes sense ranking wise. It makes sense scheduling wise. It's not like Almabayev took a shit ton of damage. He should be able to go here pretty soon. Run this one next. Then Abdul. I don't know how to say this dude's full ass name. He's just gonna be called Abdul from now on. He got it done. Nasty KO. It was like a head kick, a spinning. It was a bunch of shit in a row. It was a crazy KO. He's going to be a problem in the light heavyweight division. I say fuck it. Give him another Brazilian to knock out. Brendan Ribeiro. Just build this guy's highlight reel. Light heavyweight isn't really like a stacked division right now. So it's not like you can give him a top 15 level guy right away. Give him some of these cans. Build up that highlight reel. And then hopefully he doesn't turn out like a Ming Yang Zhang. Moving down, Alexandre Topuria also got it done. Honestly, he dominated that fight. He looked really, really good against Aliev, which is crazy. But I did say that he would gas him out, which is kind of what happened, he just stalked down Aliev and he made him get gassed out from all that high volume he was doing in round 1. With that being said, he dropped him bad in round 3. Didn't get the finish. It is what it is. Let's keep building him up a little bit. We don't need to give him a huge jump up in the rankings. If he beats this next guy, we can look at maybe like an Adrian Yan, like those type of fighters. I think we do John Castaneda first. Run this one next. He's looking to be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I had some doubts here and there, but he's looking pretty good in this division. Then Naurdiev got it done. Nasty. My buddy got chinned so bad. Ryan Loader. He chinned Ryan Loader so bad. That being said, what's next from him? I don't even know if this dude's in the UFC anymore. Let's do Tresean Gore next. Hey, I got bad news for you. You're getting cut after this fight. But Khabib also got it done. It was a good fight. You know, he rocked Shamrock so many times in that first round. I thought he was going to finish him in the first round. Didn't end up happening. He's still undefeated. He's still pretty young. Let's give him a slight bump up in competition and some semi-name value guy in Trey Ogden. Trey Ogden and Ankh, he's on his way out. Let's build up Khabib. Then we can think higher up in these rankings. Then that heavyweight fight, cut both of these dudes now. Denzel Freeman, I'm hate watching you for the rest of my life. With that being said, give him Kuniev next so we can get him flatlined and then we can ship him back off to wherever he was. I personally think that fight should have been stopped in the second round and we should have just cut them on the spot. That was worse than the Francis Ngannou and the Derek Lewis fight by a mile. But yeah, that was the Qatar card. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this card? What do you guys think of these matchups? And help your boy out. You know, I post this shit before anyone else on YouTube. Help your boy out. Leave a like on this video. Subscribe. Comment down below. Share this with your grandma. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching to the end of the video. And I will see you guys in my next video.